But
I think I first started in BPA my sophomore year. Yeah, my sophomore year.
mm-hmm.
And my first year was like I was not super involved. I just kind of I did a competition, but I did a competition.
Yeah.
And but after that, I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to get more involved, and I actually got more involved into it. You probably heard me tell that story 30 times. I've talked about it on social media 30 times.
Yeah, I think last year's probably was my favorite year of BPA I've had so far, just because I really liked the national officers last year.
Yeah, I really like. What about you, Hallie? Hallie's my sister. Her and I are in the same chapter.
You probably won't be questioning me very much, but I am the chapter president for our chapter, and this is actually my first year in BPA, but I have been in other organizations. I don't know if you've heard of Skills USA.
I'm in that.
I was involved in that, a chapter president for that, and then I also did a lot of competitions through that, and I intend to be competing this year for BPA, along with some other good stuff.
So you're in Skills too, Dylan?
Yes, this is going to be my first year of Skills.
Oh, yay.
Really? What are you like? Hallie was in Skills because of cosmetology. What are you doing it for?
I'm in IT at Meridian, so I'll be doing networking type stuff.
That's cool. Oh, I love the picture that Maggie has on her account. It's amazing. I love that.
Welcome, Maggie.
Hi, Maggie. I have a sister named Maggie. But yeah, Skills is cool. It's cool that you're doing IT for Skills because, you know, there's some, as I'm sure you're aware, there are some competitions with BPA that are kind of IT.
Yeah. Honestly, I would not be at Meridian if BPA was not not an organization there. I would have been like, no, I'm staying at the high school because actually with Stillwater's high school, I was like the founder of the chapter. Like I'm the only reason there's a chapter there.
Wow. Oh my
I was like, we need one so I can continue going. I'm dying.
Why didn't you run for state office? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Your resume is
just
points.
Yeah, I'm planning to.
Hey. So I'm sure you already know that the application deadline is December 1st.
Yeah, I've just been going through my binder today just because it's one of my off days.
That's cool. Hey Maggie. You're muted, but
hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Who are you the president of? Which chapter are you from?
CV Tech, the Cowan campus in accounting and business education.
Cool. I like your shirt. It's a nice pattern.
I'm sorry?
I like your shirt. You have a nice pattern on your shirt.
Thanks.
How long have you been in BPA, Maggie?
Since August. I started school August 31st, so more September.
Okay, that's fun. So this is your first year in BPA too?
Yes.
This is Hallie's first year in BPA. She's my sister Dylan.
Hello.
This, but yeah, Dylan's been in it longer than any of us so far, other than Mrs. Frank. Mrs. Frank's been in it for I don't even know how many years.
What is it, like 21 years or something like that?
Yeah, Mrs. Frank is my advisor, and she is a veteran for sure.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she actually is on the national board. She is the treasurer on the national board and is on SEAC and a number of other things. Mrs. Frank's really a very capable woman. We still got 6 minutes until 6 o'clock. So I mean, y'all got any questions before while we're waiting?
No.
You want to hear about any stories of Hallie's, like when she was young, how she would,
Yes.
Okay. Just fun fact about Hallie. Hallie was used to getting her way when it came to what movie we were going to watch. And one night, it was my other sister Maggie's turn to choose what movie we were going to watch, and she did not want to watch Cinderella, but Hallie did. And Hallie, even though she's like 2 or 3 years younger than Maggie, decided that that was not going to fly, and she beat her up with the remote. And
like 2, okay.
okay, I'll give her that. She was 2, but at the time, Maggie was just like, ah! And Hallie was going to town, and yeah, it was certainly something. Of course, I'm a year younger than Hallie, so I just know the story from other people telling it. But I just that's one of my favorite stories about Hallie.
That's great.
She's definitely changed a lot, though. She's probably more more nurturing than any of the rest of us and of my siblings. You're a nurturer, right, Hallie? That's your voice?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm a nurturer.
Let's all put our you guys both went to FLC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, but you're making me remember things from like a month ago.
I'm gonna put my my leadership voice, my primary leadership voice, into my. Am I forgetting how to? Okay, yes, I forgot how to spell creative for a second. I'm
actually a creative
because I like to know people's leadership voices and stuff. So that's a really fun one.
I'll be right back. I need to go find my little thing that says it.
Okay. We'll wait patiently for you, Dylan.
Is there any like feedback from this music?
I'm hearing a little bit of what sounds like a fan, but I don't think there's any music feedback.
I was just wondering if it was like annoying or something. Okay.
Not that I can hear.
Okay, so I guess I'm in here twice, or at least I see like a picture of me. Can you boot the picture of me where there's no video? Because I don't know how to mute that.
Yes, ma'am. I went ahead and got rid of it.
Thank you.
Thank you for mentioning it. I never would have noticed. I'm trying to see. I know someone sent me an email saying they wouldn't make it. And I'm trying to remember. Was it who it was?
It might have been me. I wasn't going to be able to make it because I didn't have childcare. But every plan got canceled tonight. So I'm able to be here.
That's all right. Well, I'm glad we're getting to see you. Sorry that your other plans got canceled, though.
Oh, that's okay.
I know right as soon as we finish here, I'm going to go on to play practice and learn about how to be the Wizard of Oz, because I'm playing him in my high school's play. Well, we're pretty much at 6 o'clock now, so I'm going to go ahead and start us off because I have a nice little presentation here for everybody. So this is kind of a layout of our first topic we're going to hit on is competitive events, because I wanted to know what you guys have competed in the past, if at all. And I also want to tell you guys a little bit about what I competed in the past. I know that I was in prepared speech my first year as a sophomore, and I wasn't too prepared whenever I did it. Definitely a learning experience. I know to be a lot more organized and have become far more organized than I was at the time. And last year, I was on the economic research team with a friend of mine, Donald Sizemore from my chapter, and we got first place at state with that competition, and I really loved it. Hallie hasn't gotten to compete yet, but what are some things that you're planning on competing in, Hallie, if you have any ideas yet?
I plan on doing a prepared speech as well. And I also am planning on doing entrepreneurship, where that's where you like design a full-on business plan and all of that. And I am mainly doing that one because I feel like I can use it myself. Because in the future, I intend to have my own salon and like a chain of them. So I feel like having that already planned out would help me out a lot. But also, I have competed in other organizations and done speech and debate for high school. So I have experience, but I'm not in BPA. So, but yeah.
Do either of you guys want to talk about anything that you might have gotten to do or you're planning on doing?
I will. So my first year, when I was in ninth grade, so my freshman year, I competed in, it was some accounting thing. I have no clue. It's been so long. But I was a 4th place finalist. My like best friend was 2nd place in state.
Wow.
And just the way our chapter was set up, that was technically mid-level. So, I mean, we kind of had a hand up on other people just by nature of being older. And then this year, I was kind of thinking about doing entrepreneurship, but I'm not too sure anymore. So I've kind of been looking throughout the WSEP some more. So I'm not too sure for this year.
Well, I know economic research individual was one that I thought would be really interesting this year, but I think I'm still going to do team because it's about trade deficits, and that's a topic that I've always found really interesting. Anywho, I won't spend any more of our time discussing that. We can, I just wanted to point out to everybody that the WhatsApp is on oklabpa.org, and you can access it through members and then competition. And that's, you know, as you guys are likely aware, that's where you can find the competitions and all the guidelines and everything. And so that's going to be your go-to thing for competitions. And I just want to make sure that you guys are all encouraging members. This goes out to all of you who are going to be watching this recorded. Make sure that you're encouraging your members to compete. I know it's probably one of my favorite things about BPA is getting to compete, getting to go up on stage and get that medal, get that recognition. You know, it's a great time. And competing is just like probably my favorite part of all of it. And so now I want to talk about member engagement, because that was the next thing that I said we would talk about in the email. And so first I wanted to hit on prizes and how you can use prizes to make members want to be engaged. Mostly I'm talking about getting people to come to meetings and pay attention to what you're doing and be involved, you know, actually talk with you guys, engage, etc. And I know one thing that always gets me interested is money. Any sort of cash, any sort of thing that where I'm going to be receiving cash is always a great incentive. So if you guys have gotten to fundraise or do any sort of thing where your chapter has raised money, then cash is always a great incentive to get people involved and want to compete and like go to meetings and that sort of thing. If raffles are great, we love raffles. And even if you can't fundraise, if your chapter can't fundraise because of COVID or any other reason, I find that local businesses are always very happy to in some way lend a hand, especially if they can have their name put someplace on what they're offering you guys and that sort of thing. So, you know, always talk to companies, talk to local businesses. They're very supportive. They love helping students. And our next thing is competition. Like I said before, I love competition. It really invigorates me, makes me happy. And that can be said about pretty much anybody. What I am talking about when I say competition in this situation is things like Kahoots. You can have a meeting and have Kahoot set up where everyone gets to engage and compete with each other and have fun and, you know, see themselves move up and down the leaderboard. Kahoot and quizzes are both great tools for getting people engaged. And I know my chapter uses them all the time, just at the beginning of this year to like do icebreakers and that sort of thing. We had a dime and like quarters and change counter thing where we were all trying to like quickly count change as quickly as possible and choose the right answer. And that was just a really fun time, and I highly recommend those. That's great for getting your chapter to bond together and have a good time. And lastly, for getting members engaged, I want to talk about food. Food is great. Everyone loves food. I'm telling you guys, our chapter meetings never don't have food. Like we bring a whole like feast every time we have a meeting, because we have sign-up sheets, and that's what I want to recommend to you guys, is that you have a sign-up sheet for food so that everyone knows what's going to be there, and you don't have any repeating pieces of anything and that sort of thing. So food is great at bringing people there. Any given day of the week, you can't always count on everyone being in a class, but whenever we have these meetings, everyone shows up for the food. So then I want to talk about SEC and running for SEC. And my experience running for State Executive Council was a great time. Running was fun. And then getting elected and getting to be on the team is just amazing. I love it. And so I highly recommend it. Make sure that if you do want to, that you get your application in before December 1st. And if you know any members who you think would be a good fit for it, or who might possibly be interested, make sure to encourage them to do it as much as possible, because I'm telling you guys, it's an amazing experience. The 3 words I like to use to like kind of sum up like the best parts of it for me are fun, food, and forever friends, because you're gonna have these friends for the rest of your life. It's a bond that you like won't ever get to experience in any other situation. And I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be a great time, as well as food. At each of our meetings, if you look at the picture right here with where they're all sitting at the table and everyone's back is turned to you, there's some food on that table, because at each of our meetings, we just have some great food. We throw down, and there's always a lot of fun. Like at every event where you get to meet up with the other state officers, you're going to have a blast. And so I just highly recommend it. And at the end, you guys can ask some questions about what it's like to be on the SEC if you want. It's totally up to you. And so now I'm going to move on to our important dates. This is our last slide. Once we run through all this stuff, you guys can just ask any questions you might have, and then we'll be good to go. So November 19th, we're going to have an important announcement about SLC, and we're going to get to talk about that on the 19th. Make sure to go to our social media sites, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find Instagram and Twitter at OKLA BPA. That's our handles on those 2 things. And on Facebook, it's just Oklahoma. You can just look up Oklahoma BPA. And so if you're watching those social media outlets, then you'll get to see this announcement. And then on December 1st, that's whenever the application is due for the SEC application. So make sure that if you're wanting to do it, you get it in by that date. It's very important. You're not going to be able to apply after December 1st. December 10th is our next BPA President's Council. So, make sure to mark that off on your calendar. We're going to have that at 6 o'clock. And then December 15th is SEC screening. So that's whenever anyone who wants to run for State Executive Council is going to go up to Stillwater or whatever form we're going to be doing it in, and, be screened. So if you guys have any questions, I am open to those now. If not, then we can all wave goodbye to each other. So let's see, any questions? Not, and it doesn't necessarily have to pertain to any of the stuff that I talked about. It can be, what's your favorite food, Jacob?
What's your favorite food, Jacob?
Cheese pizza. It's next level. I love cheese pizza.
Okay. Is there like anything you would say that would be important for like campaigning wise for SLC?
What's important about campaigning? Make sure that when you're campaigning, you know what you're going to be running on. I ran on mostly wanting to make sure that we did as much service as possible. And so like throughout, like as the year has gone by, I've made sure that I've taken every chance I could to push acts of service to others. So for example, whenever we were doing FLC, I was at every chance talking about like freerice.com and some other things that you can do to be in service to others. And so make sure that you have something you're running on, as well as having a tagline is always good. If somebody can remember your name, that's very important, because you know, how else are they going to remember to mark who they're going to mark for on the when they're voting. And I'm also just remembered to remind you guys that we do have the National Leadership Summit happening this Saturday. So if you haven't signed up for that yet, make sure you do that. That's going to be really helpful. It's going to be a good tool. I'm going to be there, and I hope to see everybody on there. Dylan, did you have a question?
I did, but it got answered.
And
So.
Okay, that's good to hear. We like to hear that. I'm just that thorough. Alrighty, so is there anything else I can do for you guys? Anything else we want to talk about? Is there anything that you guys think would be good topics for me to hit on next time we are doing a President's Council? If there's anything that you guys want to make sure is covered, then I will make sure I get it on there. We're all good?
Oh, I do have one thing.
Okay.
So I remember like it said that the recordings will be sent out. Are those going to be sent out through email?
Yes, sir.
Or, okay, I was just wondering because I have a friend who couldn't make it, so I was just wondering about that.
Yeah, I'm planning on either. I'm not sure how the file size will look, so depending on if it's too big to fit in an email, I'll have a link to it where you can get to it through the email. So I'll make sure to send it out through email regardless. You will be able to get to it through the email. As long as they've given me their contact information, they will get it.
Okay, thank you.
That's no problem. Anything else, y'all? We're good? All right. Well, y'all have a wonderful, fabulous evening. And I look forward to getting to meet with you guys on December 10th. Is there anything? Do you have something, Hallie?
Oh, I was going to say, nice to meet everyone.
Nice to meet everybody. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you guys too.
It was wonderful meeting you guys. And if you ever have any questions that you want answered between now and any other council meetings, just shoot me an email. I get notifications every time. It's like sending a text, so I'm always available. All right. Thank you guys. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.